Michael Lawson said Pitt stole her bowl chances last year. Butch Davis, I'm sure, reminding his crew of that. First quarter, no score. Scott Covington, watch his play develop. A little fake to Edgerrin James. Edgerrin didn't really carry it out very well, didn't want to sell it, and that's why. By himself on the throwback, he'd get loose. Edgerrin on the edge. Went for 68 yards, 3 TDs on the night, 15 on the season. That breaks the school record. But in the first quarter, Pitt trying to answer. Matt Lytle laying one out there. No! Terry Murphy. Little sticky fingers. Pitt would score 4 plays later. Dan Marino loves having receivers like that. Third quarter, 21-7 Miami. Got to be sound in the kicking game, and that means watching the holder. Jeff Popovich takes the fake field goal, 25 yards up the gut, and Miami cruises 38-10 the final. Edgerrin James, we mentioned his touchdowns. He's the only player in Miami history to bust 1,000 yards twice in his 15 touchdowns, break Eddie Dunn's record of 14 set 60 years ago. So the Canes now face Syracuse at the Carrier Dome next week, and assuming the Cuse doesn't stumble against Temple on Saturday, that will be for the league crown and a BCS berth. Omen of wrecked dreams for a national title. That's confidence when you grease the goalposts so they won't tear them down. Missouri had lost 8 straight games against #1 teams, but here's Corby Jones rolling right and getting in there. Missouri scored again after that touchdown to lead 13-10 at the break. Third quarter, 17-13 K-State. Marlon Charles shaken up, had a hip problem. Eric Hickson out with an ankle sprain. That means Frank Murphy's in there. Now, this is no ordinary third stringer. He was JC Player of the Year last year, and Frank Murphy taking it to the house. Kansas State going up 24-13. Later in the third, 24-16. Murphy again. This guy's got some serious speed. But I want you to watch Michael Bishop, number 7, Heisman candidate, leader, quarterback, blocker, getting out front with a ball club, trying to give out his body. 48 yards by Murphy, 65 yards on the day, but this may be the play of the game for Murphy. It's 24-22, fumbles on the goal line. Get on that ball, and Murphy does. 31-22 Kansas. Mizzou, though, would not quit. They haven't quit all year. Their last chance, down 5, 4th and 3. Corby Jones, guts and heart, up the middle, gets the first down, moves the sticks. Next play, throwing. John Dawsman makes the catch for 34 yards. Jones threw for 249 on the day and fired a bullet to Kareem Wise there at the K-State 36. But 3 straight incomplete passes left Missouri with this chance, and it's no chance. Well overthrown. A gutsy, courageous effort by the Missouri quarterback who's come so close to so many upsets the last 2 years. But Bill Snyder's Wildcats survived 31-25. It's K-State's first undefeated season in school history. Bishop, 13 of 26, a $157. He also ran for 104 yards. K-State, number 1 in the land, but currently 3rd in the BCS standings. But Cats have another chance to improve that standing in the Big 12 championship game against Texas A&M December 5th. But for now, they'll just enjoy this one.
Well, our players just want to play. I think they're like players. They're all across the country. You know, they don't like all the things that go on around them and all the criticism, et cetera, but they don't want to deal with it. They just want to play. They just want to line up, play, be a college student, go to class, get a good education, play football, have fun doing it, go home.
Kentucky and Tennessee, Tim Couch and his mates playing with heavy hearts. Of course, that tragic accident last Sunday that killed Arthur Steinmetz and Scott Brock, who was Couch's best friend. First quarter, Tennessee was down 1, and Peerless putting the Peerless into his name. Peerless Price, the one-handed grab of the T. Martin toss down to the Kentucky 19. It led to a touchdown. The Vols scored and got a 2-point conversion to make it 14-7. Second quarter, 3rd and 21. T. Martin unloading. Cedric Wilson, 55 yards. Martin 13 of 20, a $189 on the day, 21-7 Big Orange. Next Vols possession, Sean Bryson, fullback with the speed of a tailback. Bryson bursting. Bryson, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give him 6. It's my best John Ward impersonation, the legendary voice of the Vols. Tennessee wins it by a count of 59-21. The Vols win their 37th straight game in November and lock up the SEC East.
And UCLA and 2 former assistant coaches at SC, Paul Hackett and Bob Toledo, now head coaches. First quarter, 3-0 SC. Cade McDowell airs it out to Danny Farmer. And Farmer makes a great bobbling circus catch, 43 yards on the reception. Farmer had 3 catches for 91 yards. UCLA would score to go up 7-3. Still first quarter, Carson Palmer's throw to R.J. Soward is complete, but Soward fumbles and UCLA recovers. On the ensuing drive, UCLA scores to go up 14-3. Second quarter, UCLA up 14-10. Deshaun Foster, a freshman from Tustin, California, takes the handoff and goes 65 yards for the touchdown. Foster, 15 rushes for 109 yards. UCLA up 27-17. Then Palmer finds Larry Parker, who makes a nice catch, but alas, USC turns it over again. Jason Stevens recovers for UCLA. 7 turnovers by USC led to 13 UCLA points. Brian Poley-Dixon drags a stuffed traveler, and Coach Toledo receives the Jim Murray Trophy in honor of the late Pulitzer Prize-winning sports writer of the LA Times, Jim Murray. UCLA would go on to win it 34-17. The Bruins extend their school record winning streak to 20 games, the longest in the country. UCLA now 10-0 for just the second time in school history, joining the 1946 Bruins, who finished 10-1. Heisman hopeful Cade McNown had a statistically below-average game. 12 of 20 passes for 146 yards with 2 INTs. But it's still a W, and it's now 8 straight over the dreaded Trojans.
Well, that's the thing that's so exciting about our football team. We can do a lot of different things. We can throw it, we can run it, and when we had to, we came up with great defense. And I couldn't be more excited about Deshaun Foster. He scored 4 touchdowns. He was sick this morning. I told him it'd be like Michael Jordan. He was going to have a great game, and sure enough, he did.
The O-line was just dominating out there, really, you know. I really didn't do too much spectacular. I was just running through the holes and everything. The O-line they were blocking great, and I'm just happy I had the opportunity to run behind them.
So here's what's left for the top 3 teams in the current BCS rankings. Tennessee heads to Vandy next weekend and plays in the SEC title game the week after. UCLA travels to Miami in the makeup game 2 weeks from now. And Kansas State next plays Texas A&M for the Big 12 championship. Florida and Florida State, a brawl pregame. Why? Well, guess what? Florida players stomped and spit on the Florida State logo. Bowden and Spurrier sorted out. Florida cornerback Tony George, one of 3 players ejected in the fight, but the only starter. Opening drive of the game, Doug Johnson picked off by Dexter Jackson. And Jackson returns it 34 yards for an apparent touchdown, but Florida State holding penalty negates the play, one of 12 FSU penalties in the first half. Next drive, Johnson hooks up with Travis McGriff, who runs past the fallen Tay Cody, 50 yards on the score, 7-0 Gators. Third quarter, 12-6 Gators. Marcus Outzen pass is tipped by Marquand Manuel, but Peter Warwick comes down with the ball. And then he smokes 4 Gators on his way to the end zone. Warwick, 8 catches, 119 yards receiving, 32 yards on that play. Fourth quarter, still 13-12 FSU. Warwick, he was a high school quarterback, Reese. That's why. He finds Ron Dugan's wide open, 46 yards, 20-12 Seminoles, and they win it 23-12. They extend their home unbeaten string at 40 games, the longest in the nation, and left coach Steve Spurrier 0-4-1 in Tallahassee in the 90s. Florida finished with only 204 yards and 17 yards rushing. The Gators fall out of any national title hunt with the loss, and Florida State needs 2 of the 3 unbeaten teams ahead of them in the BCS standings, Tennessee, K-State, and UCLA, to lose in order to get a crack at the national championship. 9th-ranked Arkansas and Mississippi State from Starkville. Bulldogs lead 19-14 in the third quarter, and Arkansas's Clint Sterner finds Anthony Lucas down the sideline, and Lucas makes it look easy, 29 yards. Arkansas leads 21-19. Fourth quarter, 21-19 Razorbacks. State's ball when Wade Madkin hits Chris Rainey, and the ball pops out. Arkansas's Kenoy Kennedy comes up with it. First down for Arkansas. Or was it? Watch this again. Ball bounces forward, and Kennedy appears to have the ball with his knee down inbounds, but as he kept sliding, the ball comes loose. Ruled he did not have possession. Houston Nutt, not very happy with that call. 2 minutes left in the game, 3rd and 18 for Mississippi State. Madkin under heavy pressure escapes and finds Kelvin Love. Love going for the first down. He got it. Barely. Same drive. 4th and 15. Arkansas feeling good. Madkin under pressure. He'll look for Kevin Cooper in the middle. And Cooper, 18 yards and a first down at the Arkansas 32. Razorback bench, they're stunned. Mississippi State's Brian Hazelwood warms up for a chance to be your hero. 10 seconds left in the game. Madkin can't watch. He's nervous. 27-yard field goal by Hazelwood. It's good. Madkin loves the sound of it, and Hazelwood loved the way it looked. The goalposts come down. Watch this guy, Reese, up on the right corner. Whoa! That's an injury waiting to happen. 22-21, Mississippi State is victorious. First quarter, 7-0 Ohio State. Punter Jason Vincent can't handle the snap, and he punts it out of bounds. Ohio State would score a touchdown, a 16-yard loss on the punt. Second quarter, now 14-3. Vincent this time has his punt blocked by Derek Ross. Jonathan Wells picks up the loose ball and returns it to the Michigan 35. A rough day for the punter, Vincent. 2 plays later, 2nd and 5, Ohio State on Michigan's 30. Joe Germain, the play action. And he finds David Boston, who makes a nice grab and then a nice run. 21-3 Buckeyes as Boston's into the end zone. 3rd quarter, 21-10 Ohio State. Germain goes deep to a wide-open Boston. 43 yards for the touchdown. Boston, 10 catches, 217 yards for the game. 28-10 Ohio State. Take another look as Boston blows by Andre Weathers on the bump and run coverage, leaving him wide open for the score. Ohio State fans, they can't wait to storm the field, and they didn't. There was still 33 seconds left on the clock. 31-16 is the final score. The Buckeyes grab a share of the Big Ten title with Michigan and Wisconsin. Ohio State's defense, which came in as the nation's stingiest against the rush, allowed the Wolverines just 4 net yards on 28 attempts. Wisconsin trying to make a run for the Roses, and Ron Dane looking for his head after getting hit hard. He hurt his left wrist. He left the game. X-rays were negative. He later returned. 45 seconds left in the 1st quarter. No score. Pat Pidgeon's punt for Penn State. Nick Davis catches the ball and weaves his way through the defenders down the sideline for an 81-yard touchdown. Davis's 2nd punt return this season. Check out the replay, though. Davis got some help on the return. Watch Dante King, spot shadowed, bang.
Yes,
Great block to set Davis free. Wisconsin up 7-0. 2nd quarter, Mike Samuel finds Chris Chambers, who makes the diving catch in the end zone. Wisconsin up 14-0. Joe Paterno, where's the D? Wisconsin headed for the Rose Bowl with a 10-1 overall record this season, which makes 6'7", 375-pound senior Aaron Gibson jump for joy. Hope he didn't land on anybody. Wisconsin wins 24-3. The Badgers have all but guaranteed that trip to the Rose Bowl. They beat UCLA there in '94. They set a school record for regular season victories and Big Ten wins and produced their best home record, 6-0. Since
his first undefeated home season since '89. 3rd quarter, we pick it up. Point after is an absolute adventure. Jim Sampson had his block, 21-20 LSU. Later in the 3rd, Herb Tyler firing for Abram Booty. 27 yards, Booty, 8 catches, 53 yards, 27-20 Tigers. But Christian Chauvin, LSU's been pitiful in extra points this year. They've missed 7 coming into this game. That was the 2nd one they've missed of the day, 27-20 there. After Notre Dame fumbled, Tyler, again, getting some booty. If I might be so bold. Abram with a terrific catch, 18-yard touchdown, 34-20 LSU. 34-27, LSU driving for more, but Tyler picked by Bobby Howard, and he's going the other way. Breaks a tackle from Kevin Falk, 89 yards, one of 3 defensive touchdowns in this kind of weird game. Irish within a point, but then, the extra point. No! 4th missed extra point in the game. LSU still up by 1. Jerry DiNardo is going to try a new kicker. Danny Boyd, that'll just flat get you beat. Both coaches going to have to recruit a kicker. They combined to miss 7 kicks in this thing. LSU, as I mentioned, they've been awful all year, place kicking. Under 3 minutes to go, Jarius Jackson over the middle for Kai Nelson. There's that porous LSU pass defense. 13-21, 276 for Jackson. Craig Nall's now in there because Tyler pulled a hammy. He's going for booty, but there will be no call made this time. Great break up there by Notre Dame. 4th down also failed. Jarius Jackson was going to take the intentional safety here as the clock ran out. Jarius should have gotten down quicker. Gets tackled there and suffered a knee injury. His alma mater, Alabama, would go a long way, and that's the way most people in that state feel on both sides. 2nd quarter, Auburn jumped on top 10-0. Gabe Gross, some like to call him Paul Crew, and he was a mean machine. That number 22 throwing a touchdown pass to Karsten Bailey there. Tigers up 17-0. It's 17-7. Trickery from the Tide. Arvin Richard, Quincy Jackson, hero of the LSU game, pulls it in. Richard fired up, first career touchdown pass. Obviously 17-14, 3rd quarter, same score. This is a tremendous play fake by Andrew Zhao, and Sean Alexander will do the rest. Alexander weaving, breaking tackles. What in the name of Major Ogilvy's going on? Sean Alexander to the house, 3 touchdowns on the day. Celebration for Mike DuBose. The Crimson Tide, 31 unanswered points as they reel off a 31-17 victory in the Iron Bowl. Alexander finished with 158 all-purpose yards, the 14-point spread in this game, the largest since 1992. First quarter, D. Brown. We'll hear a lot from him in a bit. Takes the pitch from Donovan McNabb. Syracuse up 7-0. Still in the first quarter, Devin Scott, the Temple quarterback for Bobby Wallace, finds a wide-open Quentin Harris, but of course Quentin plays for Syracuse, and he'll take it to the house. Third pick of the season, Orange up 21-0. Third quarter, the Cuse driving. McNabb on the pitch again. D. Brown takes it in, 67 yards and 11 carries. The Cuse up 38-7. They win it by that final count.
Because Cal stole their old one during rivalry week. Fourth quarter, Cal down 10-3. Delta O'Neal receives the punt at the 11, changes direction, and gets by the punter. Finally brought down at the 32 by Tank Williams. A 57-yard punt return. The axe still up for grabs. Cal hadn't won it since '94. Same drive, 4th and 15. Justin Vetter looking for Damian Douglas, incomplete. And Cal can't bear to watch this. Stanford wins 10-3. Stanford's defense, ranked last in the conference, held Cal without a touchdown and racked up 9 sacks. Cal held Stanford to negative 24 yards rushing in the first half. 16th ranked Oregon at Oregon State. It's called the Civil War. We go right to the fourth quarter. Tied at 24, 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. Achilles Smith looking and throwing to Tony Hartley, 28 yards for a touchdown. Oregon takes a 31-24 lead. On Oregon State's next possession, second one on the 30. Jonathan Smith to Tim Alexander. Alexander twists and turns and breaks free, 30 yards for the touchdown, and the crowd goes nuts. The Beavers tie the game at 31. We go to overtime. Oregon State going first in OT, and Jonathan Smith hands off to Ken Simonton. And Simonton, 1 yard for the touchdown. And Mike Riley's squad leads 38-31. Now Oregon's chance, 4th down and 13. Achilles Smith finding Tony Hartley. But it's incomplete. The fans assume Oregon State has won the game, and they rush to the field. But there was a late flag on the play. And the referee calls the defensive pass interference. Watch it again. A very questionable call, but the referee's call does stand. Oregon gets a first down and a 15-yard penalty. Now 3rd and goal, and Achilles Smith in trouble. Lobs one to Jed Weaver. Mike Bellotti says go for 1. The Ducks tied at 38. We go to overtime. Achilles Smith in the second overtime looking to Hartley, but Mika Moore breaks up the pass. Ducks settle for a field goal and lead 41-38. Now Jonathan Smith hands off to Ken Simonton, and Simonton breaks free up the sideline. 16 yards for a touchdown. He had 157 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Tulane looking to win the Conference USA Championship against Houston. Sean King firing, balls knocked around John Wilson, and then Kevin Cook says, I'll take that, and he'll take it in. 39 yards, we're tied at 10. Third quarter, Tulane explodes. Sean King fumbles around with the snap and then fires one of his 5 touchdown passes. Tulane 48-20. They win their first conference title since '49. Wyoming and Tulsa. Wyoming in the running for the WAC. Third quarter, Cowboys down 28-0. John Mosley's going to make it more. People up front just bumping belly buttons and watching him go. 201 yards on the ground. Tulsa 35-0 over the Cowboys. Rice and Air Force, one of the teams to beat Wyoming. One of the previous teams was Air Force. Fourth quarter, Rice up by 2, 16-14. Chad Richardson going to throw it, and it's picked off by the Falcons. Mike Tyler, he's going to take it back 26 yards. Air Force, 22-16 there in the WAC championship game. And speaking of the WAC, Brigham Young and Utah. Hey, you know what? We play for keeps in the Beehive boot. Slobber knocker on BYU's Ronnie Jenkins. Fourth quarter, Utah leading 26-17. Daniel Jones fields the punt. Actually, BYU was leading 26-17. And Jones, you know you're supposed to put your heels on the 10 and not go backwards. Well, he did, and it paid off. 95 yards. Got to be sound in a kicking game. You can't let returns break like that. 9 seconds left. Utah for the win. Ryan Kanashiro. Oh! Hit the post. Hit the post. Utah thinks they've won this thing, but BYU had some divine intervention, and it was swatted away. Val Edwards and the Cougars hang on to win it 26-24. They see in this series, first quarter scoreless. True freshman Willie Hurst, 3rd and 5, busted right up the gut for the Huskies. 155 yards. That was on the game. It's just a 56-yard game there, as Kenny Mayne would say, it'd be a record or something. Extra point failed, 6-0. Third quarter, 6-2. Brock Heward finds Dan Looker, 27 yards. Washington wins it by a count of 16-9. I'm not sure what they're saying, but they won the Apple Cup. 16-9. Washington might have won that cup, but they lost a quarterback. After the game, Brock Hewitt announced that he'll forego his senior season and enter the NFL draft. Washington State went 0-8 in the Pac-10. Keep that bit of information in mind for later.
I will. Lehigh and Lafayette for the 134th time.
Blitz, right, Kim? I mean,
Lafayette leads the series 71-57-5. Third quarter, 17-0 Lehigh. Phil Stombaugh rolls out, and Cody Fedora is in the right place at the right time. A 41-yard touchdown reception, 24-0 Lehigh. Still third quarter, 24-0 Lehigh. Ron Jean takes the handoff, makes a cutback, nearly gets tripped up at the 20, but doesn't. 92-yard touchdown run. Lehigh wins 31-7. Dean, 23 carries, 179 yards, 3 touchdowns. Coach Kevin Higgins, Gatorade showers. Lehigh completes a perfect 11-0 regular season and wins the Patriot League title. Lehigh joined the 1987 and 91